Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is stock market wrap-up for the evening of April 9th, Thursday evening. We're going to take a look at the market action today, and then we're going to look at four stocks tonight. Some of the casinos: Las Vegas Sands, Melco Crown Entertainment, MGM, and SolarCity. Okay, Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 56 points today. So a little bit of a bounce, but again, we are having a tough time, and I think that was late in the day. We're having a tough time, getting out of this congestion still. I mean, if you look at what is this, 2, 4, 6, 8 days, we are still not above, the range here of the last 8 days. And we're still within this range. Okay, so still kind of stuck in the middle here. S&P 500 now, this is one that broke out, a little bit of a breakout. This closed above the range of that same time frame I just talked about last, 8 days, I guess it was, 8 or 9. So, we could be getting, S&P could be telling us it's trying to get to the high side. Let me look at, I haven't looked at the, RSI. I mean, it's nice that it's bouncing up. It's above 50, and I like it. If you're bullish, you're trying to get above 50. It also could have broken a trend line here, and it looks like that's not a good trend line. Must have grabbed the wrong kind. You got to be careful about that if you don't have semi-log on. So there we go. So yeah, so it's breaking a little trend line, and it's breaking above the range. So we might be on the verge of a little bit of a breakout. Nasdaq, same thing. So 2 out of the 3 major indices are breaking out of the congestion. So the Dow's lagging a little bit. Let's take a look at the short-term trading index. It's getting a little more bullish, down to 0.75 today, but it's still not down. Below the 10-day is at 1.00, right at 1. And the VIX, boy, did that look at that. I mean, that's what I don't know is it just coming right down to this level again, but it's a little bit of a reach to say it's the head and shoulders. It could be. I know I mentioned that yesterday, but pretty negative on the VIX. So this is kind of reaffirming the strong move that's happening. Now, when you go to the high-low on the New York, we're not getting anything. I mean, the net new highs versus new lows, 122, we're still just sideways here. So, I don't know. I would have liked to have thought that this would have maybe broken above 150 and kind of gotten out of this congestion a little bit. So we'll see what happens. And then the McClellan Oscillator, same thing. It pulled back a little bit. Let me make sure it's updated as far as I've got. So it's right at 58.87. So again, not at an extreme on the McClellan Oscillator. So still a little bit in the consolidation, but possibly breaking out would be my interpretation of the market action, what's going on today. All right, Treasury bond. And I hope I got the dollar updated. Treasury bonds here, they broke down out of this congestion. You remember I drew this, it wasn't yesterday, it was a couple of days ago. And now it looks like it's breaking down out of this. So we could be getting a little bit of this, that this was a corrective move and we're starting to come down. But again, you've got to get a ways down here before it confirms that. So that means interest rates are blipping up slightly on the long-term interest rates. Let's see if I've got the U.S. dollar. Do I have it up? I don't see it. All right, let me just see if I can grab that real quick. Okay. Yeah, this is today. Yep. Okay, so we got the U.S. dollar in a nice strong move here today, continuing to the high side. This kind of, remember I talked about, I thought we were going to get a fourth wave. I thought it might be this, then we pull back down here. So either this was part of the corrective action, or this is a 1, 2, and we're working a 3 of the fifth wave. So I'm now starting to think let me just put it right down here, and I'll need to look at this a little bit closer, but I'm going to, if I can get a hold of that damn thing, make that 4, put that right in there for now. But right now the dollar is continuing to strengthen again, and if that's the case, yeah, given that we had such a huge third wave, intermediate wave move, I'm not sure. I mean, I think it'll probably push above this point is my guess. The real question is how much above that point. Okay, US 12-month oil ETF. Okay, so this again, a little bit of a sideways move. It was up 0.14. So it hit that, came back up, looked like it was closing above this. But again, as I've mentioned before, you got a lot of congestion, a lot of overhead supply, and that's pushed back down in here. So it doesn't look like it's going anywhere fast, although it is trying to turn. Now you could say, let me look at something real quick. Could put a little trend line in here as a counter trend move. And I mean, it kind of has a little bit of that look. So we'll have to watch to see if it breaks this trend line. It could come back down and try to retest the low. And then the last one we'll look at in terms of ETF is gold, GLD. And gold continued the little pullback here. So still not clear whether this is an A, B, C, number 2 complete. We'll see what kind of further action we get. It's hard to tell right now. Now you could almost say, this just caught my eye, but I mean, you know, if you're not looking at an Elliott wave count, this has the potential to look like a little bit of a head, a shoulder, a head, big head, and a shoulder, but this would have to come back up. So again, way too early to tell that. I'm gonna start seeing head and shoulders in my my dreams. Okay, Las Vegas Sands. This thing is really getting this. Here's another head and shoulders, and there's several of these that are showing up. You can see it here, here, and here, and it's broken out. The moving averages, the 10 broke above the 21 right in here. Okay, and they're both curving up nicely. Now, granted, we still have the long-term trend is down. The intermediate trend is still negative, but it's trying to turn. Now, this has come up and hit this trend line here, and may have gotten some resistance. It'll be interesting. It also looks like this is a bigger bottoming process, although for a head and shoulders, this is weak. This is weak. If that's what that is, if the neckline very negative like that. So I would just right now just call it a trend line. This may be bottoming. We'll see if we can break and get some move in here. This if the 21 gets above the 55, I mean, this could be interesting. A lot of the casinos were moving today, so Melco Crown. We'll take a look at that. Look at this move here. Now this again, this broke this trend line here, got a little bit of consolidation, and now we're getting a continuation move. Now we're getting to the top of the Keltner channel. This pattern, I'm not sure what I'm seeing. You know, I don't know what we've got. I mean, we've had a heck of a correction down in here, but in terms of, you know, sometimes it's good to just take these lines off and step back and look at something, just because sometimes you just get your mind just starts looking a certain way. But right now, I mean, short-term trend is to the high side, but it's had a good little snapback move here. So again, just making note of it. Don't have any particular pattern or anything I'm seeing there. MGM Resorts also had a good move today. You can see this is a nice 2-day move. I mean, it went from a close 21.11 to 22.61 in 2 days. It's pretty nice. And the thing I noticed about this on MGM, this does look like a big head and shoulders, but it's not pretty. It's not symmetrical, given the way this is acting over here and how deep this was. And the other thing about it, I mean, I'm just noting it. When you have a head and shoulders and you can't try to call it a bottom, it needs to have reversed something. And this doesn't seem like a big enough move to say, oh, wow, we got a major reversal. Because usually a head and shoulders in a reversal pattern is reversing a big move, okay? You know, if it's in a continuation pattern, that's a different thing, but a reversal pattern. So I'm a little skeptical, but I did draw this trend line, and we'll have to, you know, I'll just have to zoom in and take a look. I hadn't been following MGM super close, but I thought since I was looking at casinos, I'd throw this in the mix here tonight. But again, nice move, and probably run into some resistance up here at the 233 or at this previous pivot high. Clearly, you know, that's where this was running into some resistance. Okay, and let's see, the last one we're going to take a look at tonight is SolarCity. SolarCity has also had a really nice move, and this one is a little hard to see. It says little, but I remember thinking that here you have, let me draw it for you, a little bit of this kind of move right in here, all right? And then you got this trend line across these two pivot points, and then it tried to break it in here, pulled back, moving averages crossed, and it closed above it. And, you know, a nice turn, and this is flattening, so we could be getting some kind of bottom. The thing that's spooking me about SolarCity is all of this, okay? Okay, so there's plenty of room for it to just come right up and get to where, you know, it did in here and, you know, over in here, and do that right in here, and that's it. And so we'll see. You know, so it's got all this bottoming stuff to kind of get rid of and get out of and work its way out of. Let me look back on a bigger picture. And again, we're in some kind of big corrective mode on this thing. And with this kind of overlapping choppiness, the real question is this enough? Was this done? And so until this breaks out of this, it's hard to get super bullish on it, although it is making a really nice little short-term move in here, or it has made one. So we'll just have to keep an eye on this, see if it develops any kind of a bigger pattern or setup. So, all right, that's it for tonight. Thursday night, we'll be back on Saturday with the weekend update. So if you're watching this video anywhere besides my website, head on over there, check out the posts and the other videos I've got. And if you're not a subscriber, you can subscribe. Gives you access to the Trade Ideas webpage and the PDF I've got for you, the 5 Essentials, and sets you up to follow me on Beyond the Chart. All right, that's it for tonight. Everyone have a great Friday. And I got to watch the Masters highlights tonight and see what's going on. Our Dallas boy, Jordan Spieth, did great today. He shot a 64 and he's leading the Masters. So I just get chills when I start thinking about this tournament. This is, to me, one of the greatest golf tournaments that there is in the year. So it is that fun time. All right, we'll talk to you on Saturday, everyone.